love this program, not only for what it did for the Jackson office, but for me personally, because I am a product of the field training program. I remember when I was a rep in 2023, and I wasn't supposed to be a rep. I started out as a social media recruiter and then became a sales rep and basically learned that I love to sell. And I don't know if y'all have heard of a man named Ryan Lear. He sold a couple of knives, about $2 million. And he really took me under his wing and mentored me to become the sales rep that I am. And the field training program, just what it did for me and how it escalated not only my business, but the Jackson Pilot, it was just revolutionary to me. And when me and Brian really came up with how we wanted to run the pilot office this upcoming summer and learning from my mistakes from last summer and really coming back and coming in with the mindset that I want to win a silver cup. I want to leave a mark in Jackson that has never been done before. And this program has been proven to work, and I really encourage y'all to take some notes and implement this in y'all's future branches or in y'all's district offices, because it really did change the game for us. So that leads me into my first slide. Oh no. Okay, there we go. Proven results. So, kind of going back to Ryan, I didn't just go on appointments with him. That's not just what field training is. Field training is watching them make phone calls, being in the car with them, listening to how they handle objections, how do they carry themselves, learning to think like a sales rep or a CSP almost. But our proven results, our office, our AM staff sold $247,000 this summer. All were trained on the field training program. Our reps' learning curve was drastically shortened. Reps closed more orders, sold larger sets, and improved referral generation. How many of y'all go to SE1, SE2, and y'all learn so much amazing information? It's like information overload. It's awesome. You're learning from the best of the best. And then you go home and you're like, awesome. How do I implement this? What does that look like? Show of hands. Anyone felt that way? Yeah. So this kind of creates a bridge to bridge that gap. Our female reps reported greater comfort and confidence when going on demos accompanied by a trainer. And then lastly, this is a really big important one. How many of you would agree that sales reps, when they have a fast start or a big first weekend, their momentum for their fast start is drastically bigger than someone who didn't have a good first weekend? Would y'all agree? And nods? Yes? Okay. Now, would you say that a sales rep that had a successful fast start has higher momentum going into SC1 and SC2 than someone who didn't have that great of a fast start? So this is how we create urgency and how we create all of our reps to have a big first weekend, leading into a big fast start, leading into a big SC1 and a big SC2. Now the culture impact of it. If you do not take anything away that I say in this message, please take away this point. As future managers, this is your most important role. My mom is my greatest inspiration, and she has always left me with two of the biggest pieces of advice. She is the strongest woman I know, the biggest career woman. She is a complete and total badass. I aspire to be my mom. The two things she always told me was, you'll never regret being kind, and living by, don't do as I say, but do as I do. Leading by example. New reps learn from role models rather than just managers. I'm going to say that again. Reps learn from role models, not only managers. Watch me, then do it. Reinforcing these proper habits and teaching by doing is skills learning goes skyrockets. more than just telling people how to do it. When you show them, it creates you're together, you're going through it, you hold each other accountable. Field training reinforces proper habits early. Following the manual, asking for referrals correctly, using the script, and closing confidently. You're creating these habits early. How many of you, when you're asking for reps, or when you're taking PDI, you're like, yeah, they just didn't really want anything. Or did you read the script? No. Okay. And then you hear them on the phone, and they're like, yeah, they didn't want to book. But they're just like, not reading the script at all, they're completely winging it. How do we create these habits early? So that way, when they're SC2, we're not having to reteach the demo or reteach how to make phone calls, because at that point, we're hitting the ground running. The program organically develops future leaders, training how to be a great rep, not only just watching the demo. Like I said, this is more than just going and watching a rep do a demo, or them coming to watch you do a demo. You are mentoring them. You are a mentor. You are their manager. You are creating a culture. Reps wanting to be around the office. Field training changed our office culture drastically. I remember when I came in this summer, I was terrified that this summer that I really wasn't going to have that much fun, because my best friend, some of y'all might know her from when she came with me to Ole and SAMU, told me that she was not going to be returning. And that girl was like my right-hand girl. Like, that was my best friend. Like, I would go to war for that girl. And when she told me she wasn't going to come back, I was like, well, maybe I'll get a lot of work done because I have no one to joke around with. Well, I was completely wrong. My reps in this office became some of my best friends. Two of my best friends were two 18-year-old high school graduates. So we had the most fun. This summer was my favorite summer by far. But creating that culture through field training, because you're spending time with them, you're mentoring them, you're getting to know them at a personal level and a friendship level, you're growing that relationship. And then getting PRs in, creating summer AMs on the team to do, basically, when you are able to create a good culture, what does that do? That creates credibility, and people are going to want to get their friends on the team because their office is so much fun. All right. Now, how do we promote this? In our office, this is something that we talk about first day of training. Like in your fast start, you're going on a field training and you're going on a reverse field training. We promote this in the slides. This is the first thing. We're like setting these up first phone jam. Okay? We introduce this as a core part of our fast start. AMs, I'm sure all of you have stop bys, so when our AMs and our reps come by for stop bys during training, we always ask, what tips do you have for the fast start class? And they always say two things. Come in with a lot of names and numbers, and go on field training. Promoting it during team meetings, I remember we got to a point where reps were literally fighting over who was going to go on field trainings with who was going to get the next field training spot, who was going to be able to go on that next appointment, or who was going to have that manager go on that appointment with them. Our reps loved it. It became such a core part of our team and who we wanted to become. And then we really did a good job at hyping it up in GroupMe. I remember anytime I would make a sell and a rep would go with me, would be like, hashtag watch it go down. Or when my rep made a sell, I'd be like, hashtag watch it go down, killed that. Like, it was just such a big part of our culture. And then when I would go book demos, I would text, and I didn't have someone going on that demo, I would text, have a demo at 1 p.m. on Thursday, who's going to come? And it'd be like blowing up. Be like, no, you went on the one last time, I want to go. Or I want to go. No, you went on the one last time, it's my turn. People are fighting for these spots. So, create urgency, but also, it kind of puts like a battle between them. Like, not a battle, but it creates competition. Like, I want to sell more because I want Emma to take me over her week. So it like builds that confidence and promotes them to the reps want to do better. Now, how do we set these up? So, like I said, we promote this very big first day of training. Second day, when they're starting to do their phone jams, I'm going around, and before training, I already have my week booked for my demos for the week. So I'm going around, and I'm asking, okay, when do you not have a demo slot booked? All right, circle this time, you're coming on this appointment with me at this time. Or I'll ask them, like, hey, don't book a demo for this time, because I have a demo at this time, I want you to come with me. And kind of, make them feel special about it. Be like, I see so much potential in you. Let me take you under my wing. Let me show you how I learned to do this. Like I said, this isn't just you going to watch them on an appointment. You are wrapping your arms around them. You are coaching them. You are mentoring them. And that's how we become good managers. It's not because we tell you, go do this, go do that, go do this. We're building a relationship. We're managing. We're coaching them. We're making them feel like they're not just a number. We always wear this at team meeting. Again, we have a fast start wall, and if you go, not fast start wall, we have a field training wall. If you go to field training, you get to sign the wall, and our goal is to get to 100 by the end of the month, and we always surpass that. We always, every AM made morning phone calls, so I'll kind of go over this in a little bit, but all of our AMs, we all booked demos, so that was kind of our time to book our week out. And then if we didn't have a slot, we would circle back to go on a reverse field training with someone, or we would also always have a rep on our demos. And then again, promoting it in GroupMe and making sure that everyone knew my demo time slots and when they were available to come. Because if you promote it right, everyone's going to want to go on your demos, and everyone's going to want you to go on theirs. How-tos for the rep. Like I said, what field training is, you are coaching them. You are wrapping your arms around them. You are taking care of them. You are showing them how you became successful. And you are trying to duplicate yourself. Like Ryan said, you are trying to duplicate the right people. So, I cannot stress this enough. Meet at the office and ride together to the demo. Do not meet at the house. Because you will waste your time sitting there, and then you're like, all right, bye. Like, you got nothing out of that, they got nothing out of that. Ride together, build that culture, create a relationship, talk to them, establish, say, hey, really take some notes here. This is my demo. Please don't talk, because if you start talking to them, it's just going to create a lot of chaos. That's always our number one rule in field trainings, is that the rep doesn't talk but take notes unless the customer speaks to them. Also, teach sort of how to interact with the customer. That is something that I learned from Ryan. All of my friends, they call me the human encyclopedia because they tell me that I've never met a stranger. That is something I learned from Ryan here, because I would watch him go into a demo and act like he knew Sally Joe for 20 years and he had just met her that day. And then he would sell a Homemaker or a Signature or an Ultimate. I was like, I don't want to do that. So teaching them how to build that rapport, how to build that connection. That's all sales is networking and learning how to make connections with your customers. Having your calendar and schedule ready to go on reverse field trainings. This is where we scaled our business more than anything, were these reverse field trainings. Because if you schedule a field training with them, well, they come watch you, but then you never schedule a reverse field training, how do you know that they're implementing what you taught them? And then have reps make phone calls after field trainings so you can listen to them make calls, as well as get reverse field training set up as soon as possible. I also like to make phone calls with them instead of just sitting there and watch them make it, because, like I said, I'm someone who really believes in do as I do, don't do as I say. So I want to be making phone calls with them. I want them listening to how I talk on the phone, so that way they can duplicate it. And if they do or say something wrong, I can correct them. Now, how-tos for a rep on reverse field training. So this is kind of how I'm going to go into a little bit of the reverse side of it. On the car ride, have the rep tell you about their customer. So you're kind of getting an idea of who the customer is, what's their relationship. All right, now talk about what do you expect them to buy. Kind of put the idea of what they're trying to sell going into it. Now, do not take over their demo. You do not want your rep taking over your demo, so don't take over theirs. The only time that you need to jump in is, one, if the rep doesn't know the answer to a customer question. Two, if they're dropping down way too fast So I know a lot of y'all are sure that, you get to the homemaker, do you want it? They're like, no. All right, well, here's this trimmer. It's awesome. You're going to love it. No. We step down fast and show them that. Also, if they're not giving a customer a good enough deal, that just kind of comes with practice. I'm sure all of y'all are made way more aware of deals that y'all were during y'all's fast start. That's just how it is, doing more demos, going to these conferences, learning tips and tricks. If they need help closing an order, deer in the headlights. I hate to call Brian out on this one, but one time we did go on a field training and the exact same thing happened. The guy was like, I can't spend that much money today. And Aubrey is an amazing sales rep. She's been selling for way longer than this. I don't know what happened, but she literally looked at me across the table and goes, what do I do now? And I was like, Aubrey Ann, what? And then we were able to close on a galley with a pair of free shears. But it was awesome. And then on the next appointment that she went on, she sold a signature. I was like, girl, come on. And then getting reps, and then GroupMe posts after field trainings, obviously having it up, really promoting these in GroupMe team meetings, etc. Because if you do, like I said, reps can't get enough of it. Now, this is my favorite part. Why should you want to do field trainings? I didn't know how to put this in a bullet point to say this nicely, but if you are an AM or a DOM, your job is to sell, period. We are a sales company. If you are an AM, your job is not to run trainings, your job is not to run interviews, your job is to sell. You should be the #1 rep in your office. I was the DOM. It is the #1 most, besides Brian's job, but in the pilot office, it is the most task-demanding job in the office, and I sold $50,000. Not only was I the #1 rep in my office, I was the #1 rep in my division. Sales does not makes you a better manager. It makes you a better sales rep. I cannot stress this enough. If you are not selling, you should not be an AM. And if you are a DOM and you're not selling, what are you doing? It is, no, unacceptable. Sorry. But, most importantly, spending time with your team so it builds culture. Like I said, our culture this summer was the best. I had the best summer of my life. I wouldn't change it for the world. I worked harder than I ever have, but I wouldn't take it back in a heartbeat. It helped me with my own success. I never would have sold that much if I wasn't taking people on field trainings. Because not only does it make me do a better demo, but it also creates urgency for the customer. And not only does it make your rep do a better demo, but it also helps you become a better manager. So, this is why you should want to do field trainings. This helps you become a better manager. It helps your sales team grow. It helps your reps become better reps. You are duplicating yourself. How many of you think that you would have the best branch if you could just duplicate 10 of you? Hands raised. Agreed? Well, this is the key to it. It's not a revolutionary thing, guys. The problem is that we were waiting for 3 to 4 months to take these reps field training. No, you need to be doing this the first weekend. If not the first weekend, they better be on a reverse field training by the end of the fast. So, sorry, got a little heated there. Now, let's get this started. First thing to do, contact a CSP and FSM and go on a demo ASAP. You, not your reps, you. I got 100K in career sales in my third year, and I'm still learning. Every single time I'm in a room with Ryan Lear or Philip Tice, I learn so much. I am never done learning from them. Every single time they blow me away. So, go do your first field training, learn what you need to do. Now teach someone else how to do the field training program. When I open my branch, the first thing I'm doing is I'm teaching my managers how I'm going to run this field training. That's the first thing I'm going to do. And then I'm going to duplicate myself times 10. Now, how fast can your office get to 7 a.m. on this weekly program? I really hope that you enjoyed the field training program, and I cannot wait to see where it takes all of y'all's branches. Thank you.